Hi folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. I think one of the most important things I can ever talk about now or any other time of the year is safety. And I think it's something that most people overlook when they're going fishing, hunting on a trail, doing anything in the outdoors. And I recently had a conversation with my friend Rocky. Rocky guides on the Salmon River, and he, when I was asking him about conditions right now, he said, Don, the most important thing of all is safety. He says, we've got bitter winds that are affecting the wind chill. And he said, that's a huge thing. It affects not only the way we can fish, and there's so many ramifications of this, but it affects the safety of people. He says that the Salmon River can be very, very dangerous. And why is it dangerous? Because there's current, because people try to wade it, it's slippery, and so many things can happen if you fall. Rocky told me, but he said, a year ago, I had a really critical situation occur. And he said there was a guy, the water wasn't all that deep, it was only a foot deep. And it was a narrow channel, only about 10 feet wide, and he was trying to cross it, and he fell. And even though it was only a foot deep, the water was frigid cold. He immediately was washed down because the current was so strong. And he said the only reason that his life was really saved was, he said, I had my waiting staff. I was able to reach him. And he was in really tough condition at that point. He said he was able to grab on, and I was able to pull him to safety. But that's one incident, and it can happen in a heartbeat. I mean, so quickly. And he said one of the things he insists on when he's taking people out is, number one, they have cleats. Cleats are so critical. Any time of year, if you fall, you can break bones. But now you fall, and you've got that frigid cold to contend with. So cleats are extraordinarily critical. Wader belts. And I said, let me make sure I understand just what you're saying about wader belts. And I said, is it because if you put a belt around your waders, then you can keep water from going in? He said, absolutely. That is incredibly important. And he said, I want them to have a wading staff. They may think, we've got great balance and so forth. Doesn't matter how great your balance is. If your feet go out from under you, it's hard to stop that motion, and it's hard to keep from falling. So this is a big deal right now. The other thing is, with the winds can cause such an impact on the temperature, what you're really feeling, the frigidity that happens at this time of the year. And the second thing with the winds is it makes it almost impossible to use a spinning rod, because no matter what stuff you can buy on the market to keep your guides from freezing, salves and so forth, Rocky said to me, I haven't really seen anything that works that well. And so with monofilament line going through those guides, they freeze up instantly almost, and you really have a hard time fishing. So I guess my lesson for today, if it's such a thing as a lesson, because I'm as guilty as most of us, we take things for granted. We think things aren't going to happen to us, but they can. And so this time of the year, whether you're out on the ice and ice fishing, or whether you're trying to fish tributaries and the Salmon River, or whether you're even on trails and you come across where the water is caused a blockage of the trail and people try to cross those waters, it can be very, very dangerous. So please keep this in mind. Safety is the most important thing of all, because if we don't practice it, we might not be able to practice fishing in the future. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.